Aiden Sprower, this is Real Estate Today. As you can see, something a little bit different. I am not in the office today. I'm outside doing some showings and thought I would do a video from the car. So here I am. It's great to see you guys again. So what happened the last week and a half or so, we know the federal election is finally over. We know who won. The Liberals won. However, they did not win with a majority. They are now in a minority position. So what does that mean? It will mean they will have to talk to other parties in order to make big decisions and have the numbers in their favor. So we know that they've been cozying up a little bit to the NDP. We'll have to see if they'll be doing deals with them. They also have the Bloc Québécois, which has quite a bit of seats. So it'll be interesting how things develop over the next couple of months when it comes to government. For real estate, we know that Liberals have promised the increase from $500,000 to $800,000 on that buyer program that they have. So we'll have to wait and see how that affects the market. I don't particularly think it's going to change too much. We might see some increase in the lower end pricing on properties that were priced anywhere between $500,000 to $700,000. Jump up a little bit if there are people that take advantage of the program. But it remains to be seen how many people will want to partner up with the government. The program rules are out there, but they're still, somewhat complicated for a lot of people to get, and it's not easy just to go out there and get the funds and so forth. So it's going to take some time while it develops. They also promised the 1% vacancy tax throughout Canada, and and for foreign buyers. So we'll have to see how that comes into when that comes into effect and how that affects the market overall. I don't think it's going to change that much the way we currently are. So I think we should be seeing something very similar to what we've seen over the last couple of months when it comes down to real estate. Now, something I want to talk to you about today. So today I want to talk to you about sticker price and what that means. So when you go and you see a property, it's listed on MLS, for the sake of it, let's say $1 million. That's the sticker price on the property. A buyer goes, takes a look at it. In their mind, they know it's $1 million. And here's where the important factor comes into place. It is super important that you work with an agent that is knowledgeable and that is experienced in the area, but also that knows how to dissect data, that knows how to understand data to let you know as a buyer, particularly as a buyer, but also a seller, if there is value in that price point. Super important. There's so many times I'll see agents that don't know why they priced it that. Well, I priced it like that because the seller told me. I offered that because it was close to asking price or was really off the asking price. And so it's super important that you work with somebody that knows how to digest data and understand numbers and markets. That is the most important thing you can do as a buyer and as a seller, to understand where you're pricing and why you're pricing at that price point and what could potentially happen when you do that. So I have a little story for you guys. I'm working with a buyer, and we're going to use a price point here just for the sake of the story of $1 million. We went to see a place and listed for $1 million. And we decided we liked it and wanted to put an offer on the property. Now, in a market where things are not as hot or busy, nobody wants to pay sticker price. It's normal. I mean, that's just, nobody ever wants to pay sticker price anyway. Nobody walks into a car dealership and says, oh, I will pay sticker price. It's just, people never want to pay sticker price. That's just the way it is. It's a normal reaction. Everybody wants to get a deal, and when it comes to the selling side, they want to sell for the most amount of money. Buyer wants to buy for the least amount of money. It's the way normal transactions happen. However, any price point that you see out there has to be able to be backed up. So what do I mean by that? So imagine you have a place that you're looking at that you like, and it's listing for $1 million. How do you know that it's worth $1 million or it's not worth $1 million? You have to understand the data. And I'm not just talking about looking at the last comparable sales. I'm telling you, going down deep, understanding price per square footage, understanding the area, what type, what is a premium that area receives, if it's a condo, floors, how many floors is it on, does it have a view, does it not have a view, how much different is it going to make if it does or doesn't have a view. So it's super important to understand what value is and actually be able to quantify that when it comes to putting an offer. So in the case of this client, we went in, we saw it's $1 million. Right off the bat, my client said, you know what, I like the place, I want to buy it, but I don't want to pay $1 million for it. I don't think I should be paying $1 million for it because, you know, I don't want to pay. You know, who pays sticker price? That's just dumb. You know, who pays sticker price? Nobody pays sticker price. However, you have to digest the data. So I went in there, broke down everything: price per square foot, location, premium, you know, size of the lot. Everything was broken down to. And once you're able to break down, you go with your comparison. Okay, the last 10 properties that sold, similar square footage, similar area, with a view, no view. You quantify and you justify, you know, every single price point for all the other properties and for the one you're looking at. And if it makes sense, you know that it's worth what it's worth. And so I broke down, you know, did all the comparables, broke down absolutely everything, and I saw the value in the property. I saw that it was actually underpriced. However, the listing agent, had no idea that it was underpriced. They just priced it because the last one priced it that, but there was some key things that were missing in their price point that they should have done better. Now, another thing to know as a seller, to understand markets, it's going to vary very different from which market you're in, how you should price. And, you know, I'm not going to tell you all my strategies, how I price, you know, but it's you don't want to price a property too low in a market where people are not willing to go over that price point or pay sticker price or are looking for a deal. And I see that done over and over. When you make a mistake, you're looking for 2.2 mil, you list at 2.2 mil, but the buyer right now wants to pay 2.1 mil. You know, if you want 2.2 mil, you have to find a strategy. How can you best get to that 2.2 mil, and is it even worth it? And that's where you got to really understand your numbers and see how you price things accordingly. Long story short, the buyer that I was working with didn't want to pay sticker price. However, when we went down and we digested the data, we saw there was actually value where it was priced at, and we got very, very close to that price when you know, they wanted to start $100,000 off or whatever the case may be. There's nothing wrong with digesting and telling your buyer or your seller, this is what you're to be priced at, but you have to be able to back it up. And that's the important thing that I always tell people that I'm working with. It doesn't matter what I think it's worth. It doesn't matter what you think it's worth. It's matter what we can back up with data and how we can prove it. And that only comes down with experience and knowledge. So be careful how you price. When you see a sticker price, forget about the sticker price. Go and dissect the data. That's what matters. What the data is, and can you justify the price point? So, you know, if you see a number, don't just go, oh, it's this much, I want to pay X amount. You know, I see that things have sold for less, or the percentage, you know, people are not paying sticker price. Don't understand the data. Understand the data, break it down, see if there's value, and if there isn't value, now you can go and you can go and negotiate with the data. Say, hey, listen, what are you talking about? This is what it's worth. This is what these other ones are sold. I understand that your seller's looking for this, but here's this, this, and this. Please present it to your seller so he understands. And all it needs is sometimes just the experience to be able to quantify that data and explain it. So, guys, forget about sticker price. Look at the bigger picture, the data. I'm Aiden Sprower. If you like this video, please subscribe. Leave me your comments, and we'll be touching bases later on.